Hello and welcome to Shepreneur with BeeCee Ugbo on Africa Business Radio, the only show that spotlights and celebrates African women doing amazing and succeeding in their crafts, their career, and their business. We get to have life-changing conversations to find out how these Amazons succeed in their different businesses against all odds. So, welcome to the show. Today on the trivia, we put out a question on social media and got answers right back to help us learn important facts and history relating to women. So the question for today is, who was the first female judge in Africa and what country? And the answer is Florence Rita Arey. Florence Rita Arey was born in 1948 on the 18th of May in Cameroon. She studied law at the University of Lagos, Nigeria, and has a certificate in international law from the University of London. Arey was the first female Chief Justice of the Court of the Appeal. She served on the Supreme Court of Cameroon and was a Vice President of the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. In 2014, she was appointed Director of Judicial Professions in the Cameroonian Ministry of Justice. She was the first woman to be appointed State Counsel in Cameroon in 1974. She was appointed to the Court of Appeal in 1984 and in 1990 became the first woman appointed Chief Justice. In 2000, she was appointed to the Supreme Court of Cameroon. Florence Rita Arey is President and founder of the Cameroon Association of Women's Judges and Vice President of the International Association of Women's Judges. On International Women's Day in 2011, Arey was named one of Cameroon's 50 most influential women. Florence is a strong African woman who built her career in law and motivates us today that anything and everything is possible once you set your heart to it. I'll take a break now. When I come back, I go on to the next segment. Stay with us. Welcome back to She Motivates, where we pick and celebrate women across Africa. And today, we are celebrating Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti was born on the 25th of October 1900 in Abeokuta, Nigeria. Ransome Kuti was a Nigerian educator, political campaigner, suffragist, and women's rights activist. She was the first female student to attend the Abeokuta Grammar School. As a young adult, she worked as a teacher, organizing some of the first preschool classes in the country and arranging literacy classes for lower-income women. She was the first woman to drive a car in Africa. During the 1940s, Ransome Kuti established the Abeokuta Women's Union and fought for women's rights, demanding better representation of women in local governing bodies and an end to unfair taxes on market women. Described by media as the Lioness of Lisabi, she led marches and protests of up to 10,000 women, forcing the ruling Alake to temporarily abdicate in 1949. As Ransome Kuti's political influence grew, she took part in the Nigerian independence movement, attending conferences and joining delegations to discuss proposed national constitutions. Ransome Kuti received the Lane Peace Prize and was awarded membership in the Order of the Niger for her work. In her later years, she supported her son's criticisms of Nigeria's military governments. She died aged 77 after being wounded in a military raid on family property. Ransome Kuti's children included the musician Fela Kuti, Doctor and activist Beko Ransome Kuti, Health Minister Olikoye Ransome Kuti, and one of my dear friends, Yeni Kuti, the dancer and TV presenter. We've had women who've stood up for the rights of other women, and Funmilayo Ransome Kuti was one of them. We will never forget her sacrifice, her fight, and she would always remain in our hearts. take a break now. And when I come back, we'll go straight into Sheroes. See you. Welcome back to the Sheroes segment of Shepreneur with BeeCee on Africa Business Radio. And once again, I have a Shero who is a Nigerian film director, writer, and producer, specializing in romantic drama and comedy films. She began her film career in 2014 with the release of The Visit. The film was praised for minimal yet insightful cast, as well as the story and originality. It received 2 nominations at the 2016 African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards in Lagos, and she's gone ahead to produce many other movies. Welcome with me, Biodun Stephen. Hey. I like your voice. When I read that you used to be a radio personality, I was blown. Because I had noticed from the voice that there was something about this voice, and hearing that I was like, wow, why didn't she continue? I think I should start that way. Why didn't you continue?
I think that I got busier. Radio was my first job right after university. Someone had said to me, "You're this English you speak. Come on, go and speak it on radio." And so I was on radio for about 2.5 years. I left it to go do copywriting for another 4 years. Then left copywriting to come back to radio. And then I got really busy. Then my film career picked up. And it was difficult, having to juggle from set, dashing all the way to the station. Yeah. And so I had to say a very unpleasant goodbye.
But we hope you come back.
I do want to come back.
Because you have the talent, you have the skills, and we'd love to hear from you from a more matured perspective. Yeah, honestly. So let me ask you this. Yeah. First of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you
How
very
you
much
doing?
for having me.
Was it easy finding this place?
Pretty easy. Apparently, my friend lives right on this road, so it was quite easy finding a place.
Okay. So why did you decide to be behind the scenes? So you are more into writing, producing, and directing, and not acting. Like a lot of people want to be out there. They want to be seen.
Trust me, I wanted to be an actor for the longest time.
Whoa.
I fell in love with film as an actor, and I really wanted to do that. And I think that back in the younger years, it was difficult getting to the industry, and then I was schooling in Ife. So it was a matter of prioritization. I can't be making that journey from Ife to Lagos to hustle for roles. And the roles were not even coming. And people would say, you have to be here, or you have to. It was difficult. And I remember having a meltdown even years after, not being able to get the roles. It became, you're 6'1". How am I going to pay you? We don't have a lot. Now there are a lot of tall guys now.
Yeah.
Then there weren't so many of them. How we're going to pay you? The camera angle, your head will be seeing the light. Thank God now for a lot of advancement. There are ways, then it was also a growing industry. So they were also limited to what they know. So when I decided, I think I would go for auditions. They would never say you didn't do well, but I just won't get a call back. It was very depressing.
Nobody to pay you with.
Yes, it was just depressing and sad. But then all along I was still a writer, and I had a meltdown. My mother said, "This acting that you are trying to pursue, you have other things you can do now."
I like that, man.
Abi, you are on radio, so go and turn this your writing into a skill. Go to film school. You will not let us hear what, tell me a story. And so he just said, you know what, let me pay for the school. He found me a school. He did all the legwork with London Film Academy, paid. I said, I can't go without my children. Pack them and go.
Wow.
Yes.
Was that what happened?
Yes, I took my kids. My daughter was in school then. Then my younger was still a baby, and the other one was in school. She was in school there. And I said, because I said, I can't leave my kids. All of you just go. Just try and be happy, because it was a very depressing state. And I think that the moment I was able to accept that my place was behind the camera and not in front of it, my career kicked off. Because now I'm in a place where I can pretty much write a film for myself and put myself right there. And I don't have the interest again. I just give myself like cameos. Do one scene, do one waka pass. People be like, come and do. Once you are telling me it's 3 scenes, I'm no longer interested.
You found
because
another
I think
love.
I found my place.
Yeah. Oh, that's a touching story on how your partner can't see that you're not happy and do whatever it takes to make you happy. A lot of people are still trying to get it right when it comes to having a spouse and wanting to pursue a dream and there's nobody to support them. Let's talk about your movies for a bit. So I've seen The Visit. I've seen that movie like 5 times.
Wow.
Because I just loved it. And also Picture Perfect. I saw that in the cinema. And I realized that you do not work with so many casts. You work with a few casts, but there's a way you present your story that people can sit still till the I cried for Picture Perfect. What's the secret behind picking just a few people and making it work?
So to be honest, there was no particular strategy. When I wrote The Visit was the reason I had a strategy. When I wrote The Visit, fresh out of film school, I cannot come and kill my husband. Let's keep it small.
With funding.
Yeah, let's keep it small, let's keep it detailed. And so when I wrote it, he ended up not funding the film, because when I came back, I met the late Chris Jayibo, the owner of Koga, who then said, I love this, let's do it together. So, but going forward after then, it's not been intentional to keep it small. But however, I really like intimate storytelling. I feel like when you have too many people and the one lead character has 3 friends, everybody's trying to talk, they are taken away from that lead character. I just want the lead character to shine, to know that the responsibility of telling the story, interpreting this character, rests on you, the lead, and not your associates helping you to say some small line. So that when you realize that you are able to shine, and I think that has worked for a lot of the people who's been in my films, because when we make these films, by the grace of God, people see them in a different light. Because the responsibility of the film really lies on that character. And I'm able to then to juice out, to stretch and to juice and to form this person into this character. And it has helped. I really don't like plenty people.
And it works. It works really, because the viewers are intimate with the lead characters. You can connect, you can see them for their flaws and everything you want to, tell them. But let me, talk to you about the movie industry, in the sense that it's growing in leaps and bounds. And a lot of people are hopeful for what's coming next for Nollywood. What do you see in the nearest future for Nollywood?
I think that the Nollywood right now is on the right trajectory. We are in a place where globally, so we used to be globally known to churn out a lot of films. But now the world is paying attention, because they see that we are not just telling stories, we're telling authentic African stories. We are taking note of production quality, we're taking note of picture and technicals, and they see the eagerness to partner with the world. And even more the fact that the world now is partnering. When I say the world, the Western world, Amazon coming in, Netflix coming in, trying to see. And I recently just heard that Will Smith is partnering with Ebony Life to do a film. Sony Pictures also partnering with Ebony. So it's not just that we're telling the stories, it's the world now paying attention
to the story.
I mean, we now have representatives on the board of the Oscars. So we are on the right path. And if we keep at it, which I know that a lot of more people, investors are coming in. We now have a lot of hungry creatives, not just people who just want to make money. They have a passion for the work. They want to tell the stories.
And they want to tell it right.
They want to tell it right. So we have a lot more inflow of those people coming in. And so I think that, Nollywood in the next 5-10 years, we are right there with Hollywood. Right there with Hollywood.
Yeah, the competition is tough.
Yes.
But we're there, right?
Yes.
We're
if we can be in cinemas and you're seeing Nollywood titles making more money than a Hollywood title.
Wow. That's good news. Yes. Okay, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with Biodun Stephen. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still listening and watching Shipreneur with BeeCee on Africa Business Radio. And I still have my delectable writer, producer, and director, Biodun Stephen.
Yay.
We've been talking. So let me ask you about collaborations. I do not see a lot of people coming together to collaborate in terms of movie production. What do you think about collaborations, and how can people understand that when you come together, you likely make more?
I think that there's been quite a number of collaboration, and I think that the first epic collaboration we had was Wedding Party,
yes,
which was the
we know that,
and there's been a number of other collaborations. For instance, my film coming out on Friday was a collaboration between my company and another company.
Wow.
And what it does is you just need to choose the right people, have the same vision, have the same goal. It's not about somebody trying to outdo somebody. It's not about somebody trying to exploit somebody. You both have the same vision, the same goal, and you're both passionate about the same thing. So working with my collaborators, David Wade, was easy because they trusted me creatively. And they came in from the business angle. We don't know creative, but we know business. How can we? And I don't know business. So how can we then marry? And so it was very easy to work together. So it's important that once you are able to find the right, so even when you are seeking for collaborators, you are not seeking to exploit your collaborator. And your collaborator is not seeking to exploit you as well, because that's really the only place to go. If you have a story and you can direct, a company has equipment, and somebody has the funding to pay for the actors, it has made your life easier. But as a producer, you're thinking cast fees, crew fees, equipment, then marketing. But if you're then able to collaborate with other people and then collaborate with a distributor, for instance, maybe film house, they've made your life easy. So that's 100 million that you're looking to make with a lot of effort. You're not going to have to spend all that time. Other people are going to, and then you'll be very happy with your percentage. But then you'd still be value for your time and peace of mind.
Yeah, you mentioned something quite important, that you need to understand and ensure that the person you're collaborating with, you're on the same page.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that two of you at the end of the day will not there's no basgos. Now, what advice would you give to someone who is looking to get into production in Nigeria, movie production?
I see a lot of people say, I want to make a film. Making a film is very, very difficult. Being a producer is the toughest job. And people think that being a producer is bringing money. That is you being just the executive producer. But you still need a producer to produce the film. And there are so many things they won't tell you. So as a producer in the film industry, first thing you need to get right, the crew, assembling the people that walk behind the camera, getting the right director, getting the right DOP, assembling the equipment, then casting. It's a lot of work. And I think that as a producer, let us remove ourselves from, let me bring money. No.
It's more than that.
It is your money, on the line. Every other person that is coming is being paid. Paid off. So really it's your money. So you really need to put in the work to understand that. And please do your research. I tell a lot
before working with.
Yes. Okay. Do your research. Don't go with the, this person is the one that is reigning now. His reign does not mean that he knows the business. Do your research. Who is behind this person that is reigning? So who is behind this actor? A lot of people just think that the actor that made the film is the owner of the film. That's a blatant lie. There's like an army behind that actor looking so good on camera. So don't go with the big names. Don't be fooled. If you're going to go with a big name, do the research. This person behind the camera, off camera, how is he? Can I trust this person with my money? Can I work with this person? Because once you enter that thing, you put one leg inside.
You're hooked.
Your small money has gone inside.
You're hooked.
You're just vomiting the money. Because you are there at that point is let this film come out.
Come out, yeah.
So do the research. Yeah, it's good to come in, but do the research. Get the right people and don't be swayed by the bravado, the person on the gram or whatever. I've had people work with me just by seeing me on the gram. But then everybody was, I'm not eager to collect your money to do because I want to sleep well in the night. So just do your research.
She wants to sleep well in the night.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, so let's talk about your new movie that's coming out on Friday. I saw the snippets and I was like, so I couldn't understand what the story is from just looking at the snippet. I know it's going to be very interesting, but I couldn't say, okay, this is what will happen. Those days we used to predict Nollywood movies. We just say, hey.
And that used to be a downside of Nollywood.
Yeah, because you can tell from the beginning. And if you pair the actors, you can tell what is really happening. So tell us a bit about your new movie.
So Bright Life tells the story of an irresponsible rich kid who is at loggerheads with his mother. And they've decided that they're going to part ways. But then the very next day he wakes up and nobody can recognize him in his family. Nobody. So he's kicked out. He's first arrested for armed robbery and then he's kicked out of the house. And eventually, when he's trying to roam around, nobody, not his friends, nobody, his sister, his mother, the house help, the gate man, nobody could. Everybody said, we don't know who you are. Even the police station where he had been previously arrested a few days ago by his mom, the officers do not recognize him. So in trying to look for the one person who he thinks may recognize him, he doesn't even know where to begin. And so he was roaming around the streets, ends up in a hood area, and finds the bread seller that usually sells bread for their gate man. And that's the only person that recognizes him. So he's introduced into a different world completely from the luxuries, he's
was used to, grew up in.
Completely different world.
Wow.
And so he has to then find his way. And
I can't wait. Exactly. I can't wait to watch this movie on Friday. So let me ask you this. How do you know that this story would sell? How do you pick a good story?
Hey. So I don't ever know that a story will sell. I don't even know that a story will be a hit. So it's like how I wrote Picture Perfect. I wrote it, I think, and I always say this, I had an argument with my husband earlier that day. So I was upset, I was in the room, and then my tailor called me. It was a very classy, posh lady, and I just started thinking of, and my husband had told me, you this local girl. So and so that was what I was ringing in my head when my tailor called me, and that's how I wrote it. I didn't think that it would become.
So this particular story, you wrote it?
Yes, I write most of my stories.
I need to come and learn.
So Better Life as well, I wrote. So I write most of my stories.
So you just get inspiration.
Yeah. So I just put it out there, and I just see it blossom. Same thing. I think when I read Looking for Bami in 2018, I was filming and I was writing. So I was filming with Bimbo and Bolaji, and I was looking at her, and I just imagined something, and I started typing. And I said, I think I've written, let's go and shoot it. And we shot it, and that film
just blew
completely. Looking for Bami became, because I said part two. So we've done the sequel now, always.
Yeah, that's awesome. Some people say that most producers or directors, they cast actors that they perceive are influential, because they do not want the stress of giving you clothes, giving you props. They want you to come with your own outfit. So what do you consider?
I've not seen any. So I always say to myself that I'm a holistic filmmaker. When I'm creating a character, I create them to how I want them to look. And most actors will tell you that they will not bring their clothes. I mean, if you cast all those, in fact, all those popular ones, they will not come with slippers.
You have to provide everything.
Yes, because, again, they've been exploited over time, over the years. It's the new ones that are eager, that will pack wardrobe and come. But the new ones. But many times for me as a filmmaker, I always try to style. I mean, there are some things that you cannot get. Like, I can't buy you shoe. If you're going to wear 10 shoes, okay, help me to bring 2. Let me provide
Bring your shoe now, please.
And then trousers, for instance, for the guys. Good guys, please bring your pants, because pants are a bit tricky. For girls, we always say just bring a little thing just in case what we have, at least come with vest, some tights, some boob tube.
Are we supposed to supply that?
So that's how. And then because many times I like to work with prints, Ankara prints, so really you can't really come with much to myself, because I would have made the clothes.
That's awesome, except of course you meet someone who makes Ankara herself.
Yes. Then I would then say to you, wear yourself, and then we'll give you credit.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I planned that I was going to ask you about how you bond with family, and then you walked into the studio today and you came with your daughters, and I was like, whoa. So how do you, I don't want to use the word balance, how do you bond with your family, your husband? You've already talked about your husband, how he supported you.
Yes.
And I'm a fan because I have someone who supports me, so I understand what it takes for a man to be behind you, to pursue your dreams. But how do you engage with your family? Because you're working most of the time. I know you're working most of the time.
So with my husband, and I think it's two separate relationships. With my husband, there's always a time for catch up. Once I'm back from work, he will wait up, we will gist like sleep off. And when I wake up, we continue the gist, so we catch up. And then we catch up during the day, always on the phone. I mean, he just called me here a few minutes ago. Always on the phone. With the kids, because of school, the kids are gone before I wake up. They go to school at 6:45. So before I get around waking up, they've gone. By the time I'm back from work, they've gone to bed. So any free time I have, I try to, if they are free and they're not in school, they go with me to work. If I'm free and they are free, we're together. We try to catch up. We try to do a bit of dance. We gist. Okay, go with like this whole week. I'm doing media runs. They're going with me every day, just so that we are able to catch up, spend some time, see what mommy does, and also as a way to also inspire them. You know, because they are girls. You know, to inspire them to have a drive and find
to work hard
and to work hard and see that everything that mommy has achieved was sheer hard work and God's blessings.
Would you want any of them to get into acting?
So both of them have acted. In fact, my entire family. My husband has been in like 3 of my films. Maybe one scene.
Are you kidding?
Yes, but it's been about 3 or 4 of my.
How did you convince him to?
It wasn't so much of conviction. It's not much of command.
So
it's like there's this role and I don't have anybody to play it. So what are you doing tomorrow? I feel okay, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see the script.
Wow.
And then after a minute, like I started to decast it. I'm gonna decast you now. But I'm coming.
Wow.
But so my children as well have all been in my films. My first daughter has been in a film, Becoming of Obi, and she blew us away. They've all been different things on all my films. Once there's a child role, there's a teenage role, I don't bother. So because it's difficult to manage kids.
Yeah.
So my children I can manage. Yeah. And because they also have a flair for it, we don't encourage it. They know that they cannot go and act outside except for mommy's film. And
for now, what if the child says that's what I want to do?
Not very, so they know that there's no point. Daddy's going to say no. But if it's mommy, daddy's going to say yes. So if there's an opportunity, yes. But again, even with the roles, and it has to be that they are available. If they are not available, there's no point. We'll cast somebody else.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what would you tell young people out there who would want to be like you someday? What advice do you have for us and them?
You cannot sleep and wake up to be like this. You need to do the work. You need to put in the time. And you need to constantly develop yourself. One hit is not enough. When you make a hit film, the pressure is more to make the next one a hit, to make the one after that a hit, to make the one after that a hit. And never get complacent. Never say, I've arrived. I make every film as if it's my first. I'm anxious. I'm afraid. Do you like it? Do you think it's great? Every time I'm making a film, it's like I'm starting my career all over again. And I like that about me because it helps me to want to put my best foot forward every time. And to girls, I would always say, if you have something upstairs, if you have a talent, if you have a skill to offer, don't take the shortcut. Don't take the shortcut. It doesn't pay you at the end of the day. There's so much joy you say to everybody. I worked my way up.
This was my process.
Yes. And there is no success story without a journey. So that journey is important to inspire somebody else. You can't wake up and become successful. You got to put in the work. You have to get to the top. You have to climb the ladder. Any which way. You can't fly there. If not, God are giving us wings. You know?
We're not birds.
Yeah. So put in the work and wait your time. Don't... your time will come. You can do 10 films, but your time will come. And when that time comes, you need to be ready to take hold of opportunity.
Piam! Just like that. Thank you so much, Biodun Stephen. Thank you for stopping by to chat with us today and inspire us to do great. We love you, a shipreneur.
I love you too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we wish you all the best. I'll be seeing your movie this Friday.
Yes, Friday. April 16 is out in cinemas.
Yeah, Friday. So that's it on Shipreneur with BeeCee Ubo on Africa Business Radio. Till I come your way again, stay blessed.